is a re-TV documentary. This is the first episode in a 10-part series on personality disorders. When the other episodes are live, the links will be in the description. If you're new here, I just want to take a second to highlight some of the other content on this channel. If you haven't found it yet, see in the description for the links to the series I've created on JonBenet Ramsey. Episode 1 was an introduction to the case. Episode 2 was an in-detail look at the 911 call that Patsy Ramsey made. Episode 3 was an in-detail look at the bizarre 2.5-page long ransom essay, the longest ransom note in history. But wait, no it wasn't. Episode 4 was a comparison to the even longer, by more than 2.5 times, Barbara Mackle ransom note. Surely this was the longest ransom note in history. Wrong. Episode 5 was a comparison to the 13 ransom notes in the Charles Lindbergh Jr. murder, air quotes. But okay, surely there were no other highly publicised cases of celebrities or affluent individuals' children being kidnapped where the same ransom note was used. Wrong again! Episode 6 was a comparison to the George Weyerhaeuser kidnapping case and ransom note. We could go on for days comparing ransom notes where the content mirrors the JonBenet Ramsey ransom note, even though the FBI stated in each of those cases that they'd never seen such a long ransom note. Episode 7 is on the who's who of the JonBenet Ramsey case, and there are many more episodes to come in this series. The series that has been getting the most of my views this week is the Crocodile Tears series. I've uploaded 4 episodes of this series so far, and there are many more to come. Then we have the Killer Kids series, Kids Who Kill, and then we have Celebrities Who Vanished Without a Trace. 1 episode so far. Following on the celebrity theme, we have a series with 1 episode so far, Celebrity Emergency Death Calls. Check out some of my playlists if you want to see more. I also have a website with some exclusive content. If you want to support this channel, consider becoming an official supporter on my website. The content on my website is more of the independent research variety. If you are someone who instantly brands independent researchers and whistleblowers as conspiracy theorists, the exclusive content is probably not for you. On the other hand, if you know that we're being played on a massive scale and you want some evidence to back that up, if you want to finally put your puzzle pieces in the right order, maybe find those last few pieces, head on over. In this video, we're going to be looking at the 10 types of narcissists. I have always been interested in psychology, and in my quest to understand the world that I find myself in, I'm fascinated by understanding how what we call human beings work. I could never understand why people often see things completely different to how I see them. I've experienced gaslighting many times, and I just couldn't figure out why everyone around these people couldn't see what I could see. That these people were extremely manipulative. Even when you tell the people around them, they still can't see it. Even worse, are so manipulated and controlled by that person that they join in themselves. There are 10 specific personality disorders that are grouped into 3 categories, all of which I will cover in individual episodes. The first category is suspicious, which includes paranoid personality disorder, schizoid personality disorder, and schizotypal personality disorder. And then in the emotional and impulsive category, antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and the one we will cover in this video, narcissistic personality disorder. And in the anxious category, avoidant personality disorder, dependent personality disorder, obsessive compulsive personality disorder, which is not the same as obsessive-compulsive disorder. The word narcissism comes from the Greek myth about Narcissus, a handsome Greek youth who came across his own reflection in a pond and fell in love. When he realised that it was just a reflection and that his love would never be returned, he killed himself. It's human nature to be aware of our own needs, to express them, and to want others to be aware of our abilities and achievements. Humans are narcissistic by nature. We are told that these are not bad traits. However, if these thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are extreme and cause problems in relating to others, you may get a diagnosis of narcissistic personality disorder. A narcissist may believe that there are special reasons that make them different, better, or more deserving than others. They generally believe that they are superior to others and are entitled to special treatment. They may have fragile self-esteem, so that they rely on others to recognize their worth and their needs. They may feel upset if others ignore them and don't give them what they feel they deserve. They may resent other people's success and put their own needs above other people's and demand that they do too. They may be seen as selfish and dismissive or unaware of other people's needs and show a complete lack of empathy for anyone but themselves. They exhibit a pervading pattern of grandiosity, sometimes in their behavior and other times just in fantasies of success and power. Under the surface, they do not love themselves and most likely anyone else. They are driven by shame, have a constant need for admiration, and will go to great lengths to protect their fragile egos, with their coping mechanisms often being straight up abusive. You've probably heard the word narcissist before, and maybe even narcissistic personality disorder. But did you know that researchers have identified 4 main types of narcissists, each exhibiting different behaviors in an effort to protect their fragile inner core sense of self? Within each of these 4 types are 3 subtypes that characterize how the traits may appear to others, 2 types per subtype. It is also important to keep in mind that these different types are generalizations and not every narcissist is going to fit neatly into one single category. As with all things in life, there are always shades of grey and a narcissist may cross over more than one type. So the first type is the classic narcissist. They are the typical narcissist that most people think of when they hear the term narcissist. They may also be described as high-functioning narcissists, exhibitionistic, or grandiose narcissists. They exhibit attention-seeking behavior, tend to brag about their accomplishments, feel entitled to special treatment, and expect others to bow down and kiss their feet. They really aren't interested in anyone but themselves and easily get bored when the conversation turns away from them. They tend to perceive themselves to be superior to most people, but ironically are desperate to feel important. The second major type of narcissist is the vulnerable narcissist, also sometimes called fragile, compensatory, or closet narcissist. Like the classic narcissists, they also feel superior to most people they meet. However, they are more introverted and despise being the center of attention. They prefer to attach themselves to special people instead of seeking the special treatment themselves. They are more likely to seek out pity from others or flatter and suck up to others, sometimes through excessive generosity, just to receive the attention and admiration they desire to boost their sense of self-worth. The third major type of narcissist is the communal narcissist. This type is a little trickier to spot at first glance because they focus on promoting themselves through their commitment to others, communal goals, and their self-proclaimed super ability to listen and connect with others. They will often give to charities or brag about how little they spend on themselves and volunteer their time helping others. They may talk about their life's mission in grandiose terms or commit themselves to a cause that would change the world. Although they appear selfless on the surface, dig a little deeper and you may find that they are hugely territorial of the charity they serve and much more concerned with receiving a pat on the back for their contribution rather than the communal goal they are supposedly working towards. The truth of the matter is that they are only involved in community to validate their sorely lacking sense of self. The final major type of narcissist is the malignant or toxic narcissist. They are highly manipulative and exploit others, typically for their own pleasure. These narcissists tend to display paranoia and antisocial traits not present in classic vulnerable, or communal narcissists. They can be ruthless in their primary goal to control and dominate others. They are deceitful and aggressive. Worse yet, they show a total lack of remorse for their actions. Each of these major types of narcissists includes subtypes that characterize how the traits may appear to others. The first subtype, overt vs covert, describes the methods the narcissist uses to get his or her needs met. Are they overt and use methods that are obvious and out in the open for all to see? Or are they covert and use methods that are stealthier and more secretive, like the bankers do? For example, we all know that narcissists like to deliver insults and put people down. An overt narcissist will do so in obvious and unmistakable ways, while a covert narcissist will do so in more passive-aggressive ways. A covert narcissist can manipulate others without them knowing that they were manipulated, or their tactics allow them to deny what happened. Classic and communal narcissists are always overt, and vulnerable narcissists are always covert. However, when it comes to malignant narcissists, they can be either. The second subtype, somatic v cerebral, defines what the narcissist values most in him or herself and others. No narcissist wants to be outshined by their partner. Their partner is viewed more like a shiny object that they can show off to raise their own social status. This subtype includes the somatic narcissists, sometimes referred to as sexual narcissists, are obsessed with their bodies and their external appearance, and the cerebral narcissists who come across as know-it-alls. They view themselves as the most intelligent ones in the room and like to try to impress people with their accomplishments. Any of the four major types of narcissists, classic, vulnerable, communal, or malignant, can be either somatic or cerebral. The final subtype includes a couple of special types of narcissists. The first special subtype is the inverted narcissist, which only applies to vulnerable covert narcissists. This group of narcissists are codependent and tend to attach themselves to other narcissists to feel special. They tend to have a victim mindset and suffer from child abandonment issues. The second special subtype is the sadistic narcissist, a special type of malignant narcissist. This group is comparable to sociopaths and psychopaths in that they take great pleasure in others' pain. They like humiliating and hurting people and sometimes have bizarre sexual fetishes. What are the causes of narcissism? There's a lot of speculation out there, but the reality of it is that no one really knows. It should be known that children are naturally narcissistic. Their self-esteem is regulated by external influences and they need others to admire them in order to feel good about themselves. One of the reasons that parents provide positive reinforcement to their children. According to one psychologist, having an unempathetic and distant mother who is hypercritical and devalues her child causes the child to create an internalized grandiose self as a defense mechanism against the perceived lack of love and resulting emotional trauma. He theorized that narcissistic personality disorder is a pathological development. Another psychologist, on the other hand, felt the environment alone is the major cause and that narcissistic personality disorder was the result of arrested development in normal psychological growth. At the end of the day, it's night. No. Serious hat on. It seems that there is agreement that some of the risk factors in early childhood include intensive parenting, unpredictable or negligent care, excessive criticism, abuse, trauma, extremely high expectations, and overpraising and excessive pampering when parents focus intently on the child's appearance or particular talent, usually as a result of their own lack of self-esteem. There is also speculation that abnormalities in the person's genes may affect the connection between their brain and their behaviors. So what are the warning signs that you may be in the presence of, or even worse, in a relationship with a narcissist? There are many outward signs that could be major red flags. At first, they come across as exceedingly charming and likable. That person you just couldn't wait to see again because they made you feel so good. However, if you dig a little deeper, you might just notice that they always bring the conversation back to themselves, tend to brag about their abilities or accomplishments, like to name drop, are really quite superficial and unable to truly be vulnerable. There is no such thing as a deep conversation with the true narcissist. They're inclined to fish for compliments because of their exaggerated need for validation, can become hostile when criticized, even with constructive criticism, are perfectionistic, like to one-up everyone because they view themselves as superior. They may not follow the rules because of their sense of entitlement. They're incapable of self-reflection and unable to take responsibility for their own actions. And they like to play the blame game. They're control freaks, so they tend to not communicate very well and certainly don't work as part of a team. They possess an obvious lack of empathy of others. They truly don't know the meaning of the phrase to put yourself in someone else's shoes. They may be overly critical of others, lack boundaries as part of their sense of entitlement, and have lots of superficial friends, perhaps on social media. However, they're severely lacking in close or long-term friendships or relationships. In general, they just leave a wake of wreckage behind them wherever they go, be it a series of broken friendships, intimate relationships gone seriously wrong, or horrible work experiences. These are some of the outward signs that you may be dealing with a narcissist. However, let's dig a little deeper and look at some of the inward signals we really need to be watching out for. In other words, how they make us feel. As mentioned earlier, a narcissist will make you feel truly special at the beginning of your relationship. They may shower you with compliments or take you on great adventures. They will make you feel so good that you may just ignore the warning signs. You may even start to make excuses for their poor behavior. He must have just had a bad day, or wow, that person must have really hurt her. Or you may even take it on yourself. I must have misunderstood. After you're completely drawn in, the narcissist in your life is going to start changing it up and becoming manipulative. It will be subtle at first, but over time you will start doubting yourself and may even find yourself living in a fog of confusion. You may feel like you just aren't good enough and can't do anything right. Your self-esteem will be stripped away and you will forever be walking on eggshells trying to appease that person who once made you feel incredibly special. If you have experienced any of the mentioned, you may very well be dealing with a narcissist. My advice? Get out of there. You may feel trapped, but the sooner you get out of there, the sooner you can start to live your life your way. Thanks for watching. If you got this far, I actually love you. If you enjoyed the content, give it a thumbs up. If you want to support this channel, smash that subscribe button now. What are you waiting for? A massive thank you to the people who have kindly supported my channel, the official ReTV supporters who sponsor this content. You guys are awesome. Peace. You've been watching a ReTV documentary.